again. How are you guys doing? Happy Tuesday. Yes, it is actually not the second day, third day of the week, because I believe that the week starts on Sunday. So, the third day of the week, I hope everything is going on well with you and your family. And today, I want us to talk about essential life skills. Yes. So, why essential life skills? I was just seated somewhere, just thinking about life. Hi, Laura Whitson. How are you? Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. Yeah, so I was thinking about essential life skills. Like, what if I was somewhere just by myself? Would I be able to survive? I do have thoughts like that sometimes, yeah. And so it got me to thinking like, what are the essential life skills that we need to have in life? And so before we start talking about the essential life skills, I just feel like it's important for us to know what essential life skills mean, right? Oh, you're good. Thank you. Oh, that's nice, Laura. Good to hear that you're good. All right. So, essential. Essential means absolutely necessary, extremely important. Okay. And skills, okay. According to Merriam-Webster dictionary, skills represent the ability, sorry, skills represent the capacity to apply knowledge and experience to achieve a specific outcome. So you need to have the capacity to apply knowledge and experience to achieve a specific outcome. All right, so now that we have defined essential skills, I think we can go ahead and talk about essential skills. Sorry, I have to go. I just wanted to say hi. Oh, thank you so much, Laura. Hopefully, next time you'll stay longer. But thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So we've already defined. Oh, we have already defined essential skills, and now we can go ahead and talk about essential skills. All right. So these are skills that we need for survival. Okay, that's what I'm going to share today. I'm going to talk about the skills that we need for survival. So, top on my list is cooking. And why cooking? You might wonder why cooking? Because I'm a foodie, duh. I love food. Okay, not duh for those who are new on here, but if you've been watching my videos, if you're not new to this channel, you know that your girl is a foodie. Yay! I love food. And food is actually the fuel that we need, okay, in our bodies. Okay. Yeah, because our bodies, oh my gosh, how, like, where do I even start? Like, we need a lot for our bodies to function, okay? And food is the fuel. And so, how do we get the food? Most of the food we eat, we cook, then we eat. Of course, there are raw foods that we can eat without cooking, but mostly we do cook and then eat. Hi. Okay, let me try. Let me see if I can read your messages from here because I can't really see. That fur. Okay, let me see. Let me try something. Just bear with me. So let me see if this will work. Okay, let us see. Okay, yeah. So this way I'll be able to see your comments. Um, Hello, I love the videos you and your husband have posted. Oh, thank you, Stephen Elliott. Thank you and welcome. Guys, you're most welcome. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Yeah. So cooking. So we have to eat to live. Yeah. For us to survive, we have to eat. Yeah. Um, I think you can go 40 days without food, but then after that, you really need to eat. Yeah. So we need to eat. Even people who are on hunger strikes, they can only go on the hunger strike for so long, because after that they need to eat. And mostly, especially if the hunger strike is for long, like for a number of days or even weeks, the body actually um, needs food. But then there's a way you need to reintroduce food, because you've not been eating for so long. So you just can't go crazy and start eating. Yeah. So I leave that for the doctors in the house. Yeah, but one thing I do know is that we do need food, okay, for us to survive. So we need food, we need to eat to live, and we also need food for the nourishment, of our body, our organs, the different organs in our bodies need different nutrients for the organs to really function and to do whatever they need to do. Yeah, we have so many body parts, so many organs that have different functions, and so we need to nourish them. Okay, so we need to eat, and we need to make sure that we get the right nutrients. All right. So growing up, okay, I'm Kenyan. Hey, hello, Kenya. Yeah. There are certain vegetables that I did not like growing up at all. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, do I have to eat these vegetables? Like, no, please. I only liked the things that tasted really good. And there's this particular vegetable that was bitter. Like, I tried my best. I promise you guys, I tried my best to like it, but it was just so bitter. And I did not understand why I was made to like eat this particular vegetable. I was like, can I eat something else? Like, there are many vegetables that I like. Why do I have to eat this specific vegetable? And it is called mito. That is in Luo language, okay? Mito. And I never knew the English name until today when I was planning to talk about this. And I Googled, okay? Hey, Google. And mito is called a slender leaf or rattle pod. Okay. So slender leaf or rattle pod. But to the Kenyans in the house, especially Luos, when I say mito, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So this particular vegetable, it's actually bitter, you know. I don't know if the bitterness can completely be removed from the vegetable, but I don't know. It is bitter, but we would eat it. Of course, we would pair it with something else that's not bitter, like stew, mostly like beef stew or chicken stew. That really helps to counter the bitterness. But it was really bitter. So I was curious. So today I went looking to find out why mito is bitter and what it does to our bodies. And I was pleasantly surprised. So it's an African indigenous vegetable with nutritional value. Yes, that it is. I know that it's found in Kenya. I don't know about the other African countries. Maybe I'll find out as time goes by. Okay, so it is rich in vitamin A, C, and B, in iron, calcium, protein. Okay, so it makes it a valuable food source. So that explains why growing up we had to eat mito at least once a week. Yeah. And now I'm really thankful and grateful that I was actually quote unquote forced to eat this particular vegetable, because it probably really helps me. Yeah. Sometimes you don't know what's really good for you. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Yeah, you don't know what's good for you, especially as a child. Like, what did I know about vitamins and nutrients and whatnot? Yeah. And then, so it also has medicinal value. And this actually, I thought about this. I was like, for it to be this bitter, it must have some medicinal value of some sorts. And I was not wrong, it actually does. So you can use this particular vegetable to treat some stomach upsets, yes, stomach ailments, rather. And it's also traditionally used to treat malaria. Yes, if you're from Kenya or East Africa, you do know that we have mosquitoes that can infect you with malaria. Yes. That is why in most African homes, Kenyan homes, uh, we do have mosquito nets to keep the mosquitoes away. You have to close your windows at a certain time. And we even had like a certain sprays that we would spray right before you go to bed, but you needed to let it settle for some time, yeah, before you went to bed. So maybe you'd spray like an hour or 2 hours before you went to bed, all in an effort to keep the mosquitoes at bay, because yo, you get bits. I don't know why this yo word is in my head. You get bits, there are very, very high chances that you get malaria. So Mito would help to, traditionally treat malaria. So see, like I don't know, I was like busy fighting, like not wanting to eat this particular vegetable, not knowing that it was helping me, helping me treat malaria, helping me, get the necessary nutrients that I need. Like we said earlier, it is very rich in vitamin A, C, and B, in iron, calcium, protein. Like, oh my gosh, it is packed and packed and packed with a lot of vitamins that we need. Yeah. Oh, I love the mic. Oh, thank you, Caleb. Caleb, how are you? I've actually missed you. I thought you left and went with the wind. Thank you so much. It's so nice to see you here. Trying to be fancy. All right. So, uh, and then there is not actually. So there are two other vegetables that we would eat often at home. Miranda and how could I forget the other name? So these are Swahili names. Miranda is a Swahili name, and how could I forget that? Oh my gosh, how could I forget it? Yeah, Miranda and oh my gosh. Okay, I'll just share the English names because I don't know what's happening to me right now. So, Miranda is referred to as jute mallow. I don't know if these names make sense to you guys, but you can Google them and then you can actually see how they look like. Maybe you know them by a different name. So jute is like Jute space Mallow. And then this is normally paired with cowpea leaves. Yeah. Um, so coffee leaves is bo in Luo. I'm trying to think. Oh, it's kunde in Swahili. See, I got it. Finally, it clicked. Yeah. So cowpea leaves in Kenya, we normally pair the cowpea leaves with the jute mallow, which we refer to as mrenda. Mrenda is a little bit slimy, like the okra kind of slimy texture. I miss you too. Just been a little busy lately and had to deal with a lot of emotions. But God always has my back and helped me find myself again. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Well, I'm happy that you're doing well, Caleb. And thank you for coming back. Yeah, so we would pair the cowpea leaves and jute mallows. Uh, we pair the cowpea leaves with the jute mallows just to like balance it out. And this particular mixture I really liked. Yeah. The other one, not so much. The slender leaf, I didn't like it at all. Yeah, even though they tried to prepare it in a way that you could actually eat it, but the bitterness was always there. However much they tried to get rid of it, it was still there. But I understand now that maybe because of the medicinal value, maybe that's why You cannot just do away with the bitterness. Yeah. And so these are the vegetables that we would eat actually on a weekly basis at home. And I'm happy now, looking back, I'm happy that I would eat these vegetables because I believe they really helped me, you know, in just nourishing my body and making sure that I had the necessary nutrients that I needed at the time. Yeah. And speaking of, maybe now I really need to start eating those vegetables again. I haven't eaten these vegetables in a long, long time. The cowpea leaves and the jute mallow I have eaten in the recent past, but the slender leaf, it's been years. Woo. Maybe I'll go out in search of the slender leaf. I'll be like, I'm looking for the slender leaf here in America. Yeah, I'll probably do that and we'll see what I can find. If I can find the slender leaf here, I'll be like, whoa, yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right. So the mrenda, which is the jute mallow, it's actually very nutritious. It's rich in vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and it's often served with ugali. Ugali is a Kenyan, would I say delicacy? Because or maybe let me just say staple food because in most Kenyan homes people eat ugali. When you have ugali without any stew, it's more or less tasteless. Yeah. But so you need to pair it with like stew or vegetables, or maybe even stew and or vegetables. And then that's when you really, really get to enjoy the ugali. It's basically just a mixture of water and maize flour, but there's a process to it where you prepare it, you bring water to a boil, and then you add the maize flour until you achieve a certain consistency, and you keep on like just not really stirring. What's the word I can use? I don't know. Yeah, let me just say, but when you achieve a thicker consistency, oh my gosh, then I don't think that is stirring anymore. Yeah. So you just keep on turning and turning. There's a word I'm looking for, but I just can't find it right now. Oh, yeah. But basically, that's how you make ugali. If you'd like to really know uh, or like really see the process, I think I have a couple of videos where I prepare ugali. So you can go to this page after the live and go through the videos and find a video of myself preparing ugali. Okay. So nutritional value, the cowpea leaves, which we refer to as not murenda, as kunde in Swahili or bo in Luo. It is rich in protein, fiber, iron, calcium, and vitamin C. Yeah, that's a lot of nutrients, just from one type of vegetable. That's a lot. And then the jute mallow, which is the mrenda, it contains vitamin A, C, and E, iron, folic acid, and antioxidants. It also has anti-inflammatory properties and can aid digestion. Actually, I do struggle with digestion sometimes. So here goes the answer. Now I'm going to be out to look for the cowpea leaves and the jute mallows. Like, I don't need anything else to help with my digestion. I got the answer right here, right now. Now that you're talking about the food, can you believe after listing what you and your husband suggested what Chinese food I should get, I still haven't bought or tried? Caleb, that was a long time ago. I even cannot remember. I only know that I suggested dumplings. That's crazy. Well, maybe you'll get time and then you'll let me know. That is a long time ago. That's so funny. All right. So, yeah, essential skills. Back to the top. When I start talking about food, oh my god, I get so excited, as you guys can see. Like food is my language. That is why when I was thinking of the essential skills, like skills that we need to have for survival, food would be like cooking is at the top of the list. Cooking, right? Yeah, I know food is what we eat, but cooking is the skill. So cooking is the top of the list because you need to know how to cook for you to eat and enjoy the food, right? So yeah, essential skills, cooking for me tops the list. Numero uno, number one, or number achiel in Luo. Okay, achiel is Luo, number is English. Achiel means one in Luo. Yeah. All right. So growing up, there was this food chart that we would have. Even in schools, they would have it. I don't know if you guys know about the food chart. Talking of the balanced diet, like what you need to eat to make sure that your body gets the nutrients that it needs. Um, okay, let me see this. There's a comment here. After so long, I kept spending my money on going to the cinema. Oh my goodness. All right. So hopefully this time you'll spend some on eating out, right, Caleb? But the cinema, I don't know. I don't know when is the last time I did go to the cinemas. It's been a while. Yeah, the last time I went was when I was watching when I went, sorry, to watch Wicked. You always crack me up, Caleb. So there's the food charts. I think most of us have interacted with the food charts, and the food charts actually really just shows what you need to eat on a daily. You need to have the balanced diet, so you need to make sure you have protein in your diet, carbohydrate in your diet, vitamins in your diet. Yeah, so you need to have the balanced diet. For fats, natural fats, my go-to is avocado. Oh my gosh, I love avocado. I love avocado, and I love the good kind. Okay, hear me out. I'm not saying that the others are so bad, but there are certain avocados you buy, and it's like, I don't know, like there's strings in there, it's watery, it's just so bland, there is no like taste or texture to it. But then the certain avocados you buy, and you're like, yes, oh my gosh, I could eat this for days. My grandma, my maternal grandma, had this avocado tree in her home, in the village. And I am telling you that this particular avocado tree would just like have the best avocados I've ever eaten in my life. And I've eaten avocados in Kenya, I've eaten avocados in Dubai and here in the US, but my grandma's avocados are the best. Yeah, like just the texture, the taste. Oh, just the best. I've had a few avocados here in the US that are really good, but with avocados here, it's like a hit or miss. Sometimes I get the really good ones, sometimes I'm not so lucky and I get the watery ones. But on the days I get the good ones, I am so happy. I love avocados. Yeah. So I was sharing all that to say the avocado is a good source of natural fats. Okay. Because believe it or not, we need fats too. Yes. Contrary to what we might think, our body needs, like my body needs fat. Our bodies need fat. Okay. Mm, good kind of avocado. Why? Why that? Why the emoji of like? You've never had good avocados, Caleb? Are we talking about the same avocado? At my parents' house, east coast of South Africa, we have avocado trees, but monkeys roam around. Oh my gosh, monkeys are like all over the neighborhood. Um, the neighborhood and they keep climbing and stealing the best, or should I say the good kind of avocado? Yes, the best avocado. What is it with mango? Oh Lord, monkeys! Did they just say mango? Oh my God, what is it with monkeys being all over neighborhoods? It is crazy, guys. I can't help but use my pocket mirror. Okay, let me drink a little bit of water. I don't know what it is with monkeys, because even when I went to Kenya in when was it, in May, there were so many monkeys in neighborhoods. I was like, oh, okay, this is quite interesting. I think when you have trees, monkeys are just, I don't know, they just tend to come and stay in the area where like there are trees and stuff like that. I haven't seen monkeys here because I don't think we have. Do do you have monkeys in the US? That's a good question. Maybe that's something I need to find out. But in Kenya, there are many monkeys. So I'm not surprised to hear that there are a lot of them in South Africa too. And monkeys are very mischievous. With monkeys, I'm always one step ahead of them. I don't trust the monkeys. They're very clever, very cunning. Yeah. With monkeys, you need to be super duper duper careful. And then they break into the house and steal like, please excuse me. Yeah, monkeys. There's this place in Kenya where there's so many monkeys. I think because there is I don't want to say a national park, but there is a park in that area. So there are many, many monkeys, and sometimes they, just come onto the road, and you see them like on the roadside, and sometimes they can jump on your vehicle. Oh, those monkeys! Mm-mm. I don't play with monkeys. Nope. And on your way to Nairobi by road in Kenya, so Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya. So if you go, so from Kisumu, Kisumu is also a city in Kenya, Lakeside City. Hey, Kisumu. Yeah, so when you're traveling by road, there is a place, I've forgotten what the place is called, but you find a lot of baboons as well. I was like, okay, I can deal with monkeys, but baboons? Because baboons are like bigger in stature compared to monkeys. I was like, okay, but they didn't seem to bother anyone. I think with the wild animals, they don't bother anyone until you bother them, or until you like go into their territory. Then that's when they'll do anything to defend themselves. That's just my thinking. I don't know. Could be right, could be wrong, but that's just what it is. Yeah. So, essential skill number one, cooking, cooking, cooking. I don't love cooking, but can I cook? Yes, I can. When push comes to shove, I can cook. And I've been lucky to like prepare some delicious meals, I must say. Yeah, okay. Let me blow my own trumpet. Yeah, I've been lucky now to have prepared some delicious meals. So, cooking is an essential skill. Male, female, we all need to know how to cook because, when you're by yourself, you need to cook. Or when you're the only person who can cook, you need to cook for you to eat to survive because food is the fuel to your body. All right. So, all of us need to have this skill. We may not like it, but we need to know how to cook. That's just the bottom line. There's no escaping. Okay. Funniest thing happened was when I found one in the fruit basket and then it ran out grabbing a fruit and dropped. I would run and grab that fruit before it got back to me. We realized it took one of the fake ones for decor and left its bite marks on it. Oh, it probably realized that this is a fake. Oh, oh. Maybe that's what you need to do. Just put a lot of fake fruits and then you don't have to worry about the monkeys stealing your food. That is funny. Okay. Skill number two, essential skill number two, building shelter. After you've eaten and you're full, you need to lie down somewhere, okay? And then you also need to be protected from the harsh weather elements. It could be raining, it could be hot outside. Yeah. So even though I love the outside, excuse me, but you can't stay outside 24/7 without protecting yourself, okay? That is why we have shelter, okay? And so building shelter is very important. We need to know how to do this. I have never had to build any kind of house or shelter. But in Kenya, the Maasai women actually build houses. The men don't do it. I was really surprised by this when we went to Masai Mara and we had first hand from the Maasais. The gentleman shared and told us that it is their women who actually build their houses. And I was like, what? We have some strong women there in Maasai land. And so they use sticks and mud and grass to build their homes. Okay, so for the roofing it's the grass, so it's like grass thatched houses, and then the sticks are for the or let me just say wood or timber for the frame of the house, and then they use the mud to fill in, and yeah, just like that you have a house. Not that I'll do it, no. Nowadays, they replace the grass thatch roofing with huh, we call it mabati. I don't know what is the English word for it. With oh my god, I can't believe I have to do this. I'm fine with cooking now. Building shelter. Um, can you build shelter, Caleb? No, you're like no thanks. Let me see. It's iron. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I can't remember what this is in English. Okay. In English. Yo, let's see. Ain't no shame in the game. Mm-hmm. Iron sheets. I was thinking of iron, but then I was like, okay, iron sheets. Yeah. Can't believe I forgot that. Yeah. So sometimes nowadays, oh, scratch that. So nowadays, you might find some Maasai houses with iron sheets instead of the grass thatched roofing. Actually, in Kenya, most houses did have the grass thatched roofing, but today, in this day and age, most houses actually have iron sheets. Yeah, this is in the village mostly. Of course, in the city, it's more advanced, but in the village, that's where you'd find a lot of grass thatch roofing. But there's that transition where people are moving towards the iron sheets. Okay. Yeah, so building shelter is very important because imagine if you're stuck somewhere, you know how to cook, you know how to get your food and cook, but then when it's nighttime or when you're experiencing harsh weather, how do you protect yourself? How do you get a good night's rest? So building shelter, okay. Luckily, I've not had to do that. Is that correct? I've not been in a position where I have to do that. So I am lucky and I'm so happy. And I hope and pray it stays that way because I have no clue at all on what it takes to build a house. I would be lost. I left a comment on your wedding video, but it was late comment. Sorry. No problem, Angela. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just got distracted while watching it. No worries. Thank you. Thank you, Angela. Speaking of Caleb, have you watched the wedding video? Our wedding video that I posted? All right. So we are talking about essential skills. So far, we've talked about cooking and building shelter. Okay. These are good skills to have, actually, essential skills to have. Nowadays, we are lucky because there are things we don't really have to do. So long as you have money, then you can get people to do things for you, right? Yeah. But I believe years and years and years ago, maybe when barter trade was in place, even though barter trade was would like with barter trade, you'd also get someone to do something that you don't know how to do. Yeah. But yeah, nowadays I think there's a lot of privilege to where we don't really have to do everything. So long as you have the money or the means, you can always get other people to do what you need to be done. Okay. No, I haven't. I'll watch it after this stream. Oh, thank you, Caleb. Thank you. Watch it and let me know what you think in the comment section. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. Thank you. All right. So, after cooking as an essential skill, building shelter, number three, water procurement and purification. Why water? Because water is actually as important as food is to our bodies. Because if you don't have enough water in your body, you run the risk of being dehydrated. And that is the worst thing that could happen to you because dehydration can lead to death. Yes, sad to say, but that is just the truth. Actually, what is the percentage? Like our bodies is made up of water, but I don't know what percentage. I think a big percentage of our bodies. Let me see. Let me consult Google, and I hope Google will get it right. Okay. Let me see what percentage of water. Okay, Google, be easy on your girl. Okay, so in human body, so the average human body, according to Google, is 55 to 60% water. Okay, let that sink in. So for adult men, it's approximately 60%, and for adult women, approximately 55. My bad, 55. So adult men 60%, adult women 55%, and for infants, are you ready? Are you ready? It is 75 to 78%. Whoa! So babies have a lot of water. Is that why they can survive on breast milk for like the first 6 months? So that really makes sense now. All right. Okay. Okay. So water is very, very important to us. And say you're stuck somewhere and you need to get water, or even if you're not stuck somewhere, even at home when you're traveling or wherever you are, you need to like make sure your water intake is enough, and you need to make sure that the water you're taking is good for you. Okay. Hence the term water procurement and purification. Procurement, you need to be able to get the water. Purification, you need to make sure that the water is safe for your consumption. So, back to my grandmother's place in the village. At my grandmother's place, there was this spring. I believe it was an underground spring. So we would go there to fetch water. Oh my gosh. It was the purest form of water that I have ever seen and drank and just like interacted with, for lack of a better word. And we would go there, and so it was free for all. It was not money, like you didn't have to pay nothing for you to fetch the water. You just had to live in in the village, Yeah. And it was running like 24/7, and the water was so refreshing. We would drink water directly from the spring. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm a bit particular. So for me to drink it directly like that, oops, like that, yeah, tells you that the water was safe. It was refreshing. And it got me to thinking like the bottled waters that we buy, waters, okay, whatever. Yeah, that we buy. Are they really spring water? Because sometimes they say that this is from a natural spring. Like even the one I'm drinking right now, it's like 100% natural spring water. But is it really? You know? Because the one I had at my grandma's place, the taste is like totally different from the bottled waters that we have. I don't know. I'm not questioning anything. I will go with what they tell me. If they tell me it's 100% spring water, like who am I to question? Yeah. But oh my gosh, yeah, the spring water, we didn't need to do anything. Like you just drink it directly from the spring. So that was super safe. You just had to make sure that whatever container you were using to like harvest the water was clean. And that way you could just go and drink it directly. Okay. And the other source of water would be a well. So a well is a kind of a borehole. It's not as deep as a borehole, but you actually dig and dig until you get to the waterbed, I believe it's called, and then you're able to get water from underground. Yeah. This particular one, the well water had to be treated for us to drink. So the purification would be in form of like boiling the water. Yeah. So you boil and then you like um sieve it. So filtration, I think, would be the next step. Others would just boil, and that would be it. So boiling is really good. It helps in purifying the water, but boiling water does not help you get rid of the metals, and and it doesn't like help to remove or neutralize chemicals. So it will help in killing um other like bacteria and stuff like that. But when it comes to heavy metals, when it comes to chemicals, boiling doesn't really help. And hence the need for us to like go through the filtration process to make sure that the water is safe for us to drink. The other source of water would be like the piped water. I don't know how you guys would call it, like the water that is the tap water in the house, but the tap water would come from the town. So we would imagine that it's already treated and it would be safe. But even then, we would still boil it. Like, mm-mm. We would not just drink tap water directly. No, ma'am. Uh, yeah, no, I'd rather have no power than have no water. I agree. No power temporary. You say temporary. Yeah, but water is life, Caleb. Water is life. Yeah, we do need water. And especially those times when you're so thirsty that the only thing that can quench your thirst is water. Yeah, water is life. That's just how it is. Okay. So the other source of water for us uh, was rain harvesting. This was so cool. This would be at my grandma's place and even at our place. It was so cool because when it would rain, as kids, you love playing in the rain. As an adult, not so much anymore. Yeah, but as a child, we love like playing in the rain. And sometimes, I don't know what they're called, but there are these pellets, like ice pellets that would fall from the sky. That was so exciting, so exciting. And so we would harvest the water from the roofs, and that we would also treat it because for the roof, you don't know how clean it is up there. And you also had to make sure that your roof is safe enough, like the kind of iron sheets that were used. if it's rusting, sorry, or if it has some kind of paint and stuff like that, that is not water that you want to consume or to use for, cooking and stuff like that. Yeah. So different ways to procure the water, but we just had to make sure that the water is safe. Oh, I've forgotten one more. So in Kenya, there was a lot of water shortage. I don't know if that is the case now, but even if you had tap water at home, there was like the shortages were crazy. And not everyone in Kenya has tap water, so we have to also keep that in mind. But yeah, so sometimes even with tap water, there were those dry days where there's no water at all. And so there are people who would like sell water. Yeah. So they would go around in selling water in these huge gallons, and then you'd buy the water from them. So in that case, you needed to treat it even more because you don't know how the handling of water has been, from how it was sourced, transported until it was brought to your home. Yeah. So water is life and water is very important. So yeah, we need to know how to make water safe for us. So this is a skill, essential survival skill. But nowadays I feel like people have it easy. You just go and get water, buy water, order and poop. Your groceries are at your doorstep. Yeah. you don't have you don't have to think about these things. But there are people in some parts of the world who still have to have these skills, because life is just a little bit different for different people. That's actually quite fascinating. Wow, sounds like a lot of strength is required. Yes, actually, they would have like these huge gallons of water in a cart, and then they would like pull and push. It requires a lot of strength. It's really, really labor intensive. Yeah. So, yeah, kudos to those people, They kept the homes running, they made sure we had water and that we were not dehydrated. So, kudos to all those people, the water vendors who made sure that we got water and who are still making sure that households in Kenya, in Africa, still get water when they need to get the water that they need. All right. So, cleanliness. Yes, it's an essential skill, okay? Cleanliness is an essential skill. Yes, yes, it is. It is. It is. And cleanliness begins with us. Body hygiene. I cannot stress this enough. Oh my gosh, we need to take care of ourselves, of our bodies. You know, I know you guys might be thinking, how is that an essential skill? Like, blah, blah, blah. But it really is. Yeah. This is something that we need to know. And growing up, I was taught how to like clean my body and clean myself, even though, okay, I'm not going to tell so much. But I don't know when I started like really just taking showers by myself. Hmm, I don't know. I have to think about that. Yeah, but I remember being taught how to like scrub my body, how to wash, how to clean behind my ears, like just to make sure that I am clean. Yeah. So, body hygiene is very important. It's an essential skill. And we need to learn this skill not only for ourselves, but for others. Because the moment you step out into the world, you need to make sure that you come correct. Okay. It's an essential, and those are one of first things I look at when I meet or go on a first date. Yes, yes, Caleb. At least someone agrees with me. Yes, I totally agree. Like, hygiene involves a lot of things. Body hygiene, your body, how you take care of your nails, like just, the little details, you have to make sure that when your nails are like super long, you cut them and you clean them. like just being presentable. Yeah, you know how to like shower properly, use the right body deodorant. You know, don't overdo everything. Even perfumes, for me, I like it just a little bit subtle. I don't like super strong, overpowering smells. Then I'll be like, I'm so dizzy. Oh my gosh, they make me sick. But to each their own, all right? Yeah. So body hygiene is very important, and that is why when you go to school, teachers or the administration, they stress on body hygiene. When you're hired at work, believe it or not, body hygiene is something that is actually written down in the policy. Like you need to make sure that you are clean, you're presentable, you're fresh, and you take care of yourself. So it is a skill, okay, an essential skill. Personal hygiene is very essential. Till this day, if my mother hears somewhat slack in it, even for one bit, she's biting my head. Well, yes, go mother, go mama. Yeah, I love your mama already, Caleb. Yeah, that is exactly. And even like your nostrils, oh, I know it sounds gross, but just, like in the morning when you wake up, you brush your teeth, you shower, you need to clean, just be presentable so that when you step out into the world, you don't become a nuisance to everyone else who took time to shower. Okay. If I can take time out of my day to shower or to bathe, okay, or to take a bath, then you can too. Okay. So please, let's make it a point to make sure that our body hygiene is top notch. Okay. Top notch, top notch, top notch. There's this one thing, I know it might sound gross, but I really want to share. So please just bear with me. Especially for the ladies. I didn't know about this until I found out myself. No one really told me about this. There are things you actually find out about yourself as you grow older. But for all the ladies out there, please, please, when you are in the bathroom and you're done with your number one, okay, just make sure you use a tissue or a wipe. Yeah, I know people are very particular with number two. Is just a whole number two is a whole different conversation, which I'm not gonna talk about here because I don't wanna gross myself. Yeah, but for number ones, please, ladies, let's clean. After number ones, yeah, because yeah, the more number ones you take, the more you don't want to. I don't know how to say it nice. Yeah. So please, let's just do that. You could use tissues, tissue rolls, tissue paper, or wipes for that. Yeah. And so hygiene is very, very important. Brushing our teeth, of course, super, super important. Just making sure that our breath is fresh. So sometimes what I do is I do this to smell my breath. Because sometimes you never really know. Yeah. So this is a good test to do. You just like breathe into your hand, like, let it settle a little bit and then smell and you're good to go. That's a good check. And then my husband found this thing at CVS that's it's like a spray. It's a mint spray. It's really good. So I have that in my bag. So I just like spray like two or three, sprays like pop, 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 and then instantly I got fresh bread. So hygiene is very important. It's an essential skill. We might not get it right all the time, but at least it's better to try than not to try, right? Better to brush your teeth. And even if like you get bad breath somewhere in the middle of the day, at least you brush your teeth in the morning and then you can just figure out how to get rid of the bad breath in between your days. Yeah. shower, use deodorant, or a little bit of perfume if you're a perfume kind of person. Yeah, just the small details. Trust me, they count. Nothing is more attractive than a clean person. Yes, well said. See, you wrapped it up so well for us, Caleb. Yeah. Hi, Glenn. How are you? We are talking about essential skills. We've talked about cooking, building shelter, cleanliness, cooking, building shelter, water, procurement and purification, cleanliness. And now we are on to the next essential skill. Oh, you're doing wonderful. That's good to know. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining the live. So, navigation. Oh, I am slacking in this department for real. I do not know how to use the map at all. At all. I can't tell north from south, from east to west, and northeast. Oh my gosh. The moment you get to northeast, southeast, southwest, now I'm lost, like super lost. I mean, I can draw it like this is how it's drawn. Okay. I don't have a pen to illustrate, but you kind of get what I'm trying to show you guys. Yeah, so it's like straight this way with an arrow top, head, or whatever, and then another line this way horizontally. So this is north, that is south, this is west, and this is east. Or is it? I don't know. So navigation is very important. I need to really learn this. I'm not even kidding, especially now that I'm driving. I need to know because I need to know my bearings. I need to know where I'm going. I need to know if I'm northbound or southbound or eastbound or wherever, bound it is. I'm just kidding, but not kidding at the same time. Yeah. So being able to navigate using a map, like right now in this day and age, we are so advanced technologically. I don't think people use maps anymore, but there are people who do, who can read maps and use maps. It's a very important skill to have, to be honest, because sometimes you're in a place where Google Maps do not work. Okay. Or you're in a place whereby you cannot access your internet and you're stuck with the map and you have to read this map. You have to figure out where you are. Oh my gosh. Don't attack me, but majority of women I met, including my mother and sister, are bad with directions. Well, I guess it's a women thing, right? Well, that makes me feel better. I don't know. I can't tell directions at all. You could show me the map and direct. It is crazy. I don't know. I don't know. So this is something I really need to learn. So maybe I need to challenge myself and go back to the basics and start learning how to use a map. Okay. Okay, so navigation is very important. Number one, it helps you know where you are. Number two, you can easily figure out where you're going. So even if you're lost, you can find your way out of that situation. Okay. But for me, at the moment, I rely on asking people and trying to figure out the map as best I can. Okay, another essential skill is fire starting, even though I feel like this one maybe we would have combined it with cooking because before you cook, you need to know how to start the fire. But anyway, it's a different kind of skill, it's an essential skill. How do you start a fire for you to cook if you're not at home using like your oven or your stove top, So if you only have like, excuse me, like firewood and you're out in the jungle somewhere or maybe out in the village, because in Kenya, in the villages, we still use firewood. So do you even know where to start? Most borrowed item, a lighter. I know. Tell that to people who smoke. Can I have a lighter? Can I have a lighter, please? Can I have a lighter? Or the matchboxes. Nowadays, you don't really find a lot of people with matchboxes, but I believe they still do exist. Actually, they do exist, matchboxes. Yeah, but we do have lighters. So, you know, technology has made things pretty easy for us, I believe. Yeah. But even with the matchbox and the lighter, can you really start a fire? Like just using firewood and prepare a meal. So in Kenya, you can prepare a meal using firewood. You just need three big stones, table stones. You need firewood and you need a lighter, so you could use a matchbox. Yeah, and maybe just how I would do it is you can get dried grass, and then once you light the dried grass, and there's an art to it on how you place the firewood, and then boom, voila, just like that, your fire, you've started your fire. In Masai Mara, the Masais actually taught us how to start fire without using a matchbox. If you wanna see this after this live, just go to one of my videos. Actually, it's one of the shorts, and you will see how to start a fire without using firewood. It's in one of my shorts. Sorry, without using a matchbox or a lighter. Yeah, it's in one of my shorts and in one of my videos too. Yeah. Oh my God. Hello. Long time no see. Hi, Maria. How are you? Good to see you here. Yeah, so starting is very important, very essential. Okay. So for fire, we need fire for a number of things. Number one, we need fire to cook. Yay. We need it for warmth when it's cold, you know. We need it to give us some warmth and yeah, so fire is very essential and one of the essential skills that we need. Okay. All right. And like I said, even just knowing how to collect firewood, it's also a skill. You might think it's easy, but you need to know how to collect the firewood, how to store the firewood, how to place it when you're starting a fire, and you need to know also how to chop like the wood, how to dry it, because with wet wood, you don't stand a chance of sustaining the fire. All right. And also, you just need to know how to handle fires. Like, you need to be very careful because you don't want to start a huge, huge fire and put everyone's life in danger, including yours. Okay. So, we've talked about several essential skills. We did start with cooking, and then we went ahead to um, let me see, building shelter, water procurement, and water purification. We talked about cleanliness. So cleanliness, I focused mostly on body hygiene. I also wanted to just add about the cleanliness of our environment. It's also very, very important how you clean up after yourself in your own home, your environment, not just throwing litter all over the place. Actually, I always find that as being very disrespectful. Someone just walks around and then they just throw a bottle here, throw trash over there. Like, excuse me, who's going to pick up after you? Like, please. And I believe in Kenya, we need to do more on this, right? When I went to Dubai, I was actually pleasantly surprised to see that people don't just throw trash anyhow. There was some form of discipline, because I think also there was like repercussions to it, yeah. But even without being penalized, without having all these repercussions, I think it's just being responsible for you to, and for us, not to just throw trash anyhow. One, it doesn't give a good look because if everyone goes and throws, the trash is going to pile up, and then the place is just gonna be an eyesore, and it's not good hygienically, aesthetically. So yeah, why don't we just learn to take care of our environment and clean up after ourselves? If you can't see a bin or a trash can, why don't you hold on to that item until you're able to dispose of it correctly? Okay, so this is a challenge to all of us. Next time you want to trash something, just think about it. Yeah, would you do that if it's in your own home? Yeah, because your home is your sanctuary. You want it clean, you want it fresh. Yeah, so let's treat our environment as our homes. Okay. Yeah. Um, yeah, so we've talked about cooking, we've talked about building shelter, procurement and purification, cleanliness, navigation, which I'm very poor at, fire starting. Now, another essential skill is first aid. Okay. What do you do when your heart's yeah, when you're hurt or when you're faced with a challenge or something happens that needs like immediate attention, you know? So, first aid is very important. It could be the difference between life and death. And I believe all of us need to have some basic first aid skills. Yeah. Most workplaces, they would have their workers or their employees trained on this so that it's a good skill to have because it can help save your life, another person's life, you know. Yeah, you never really know. So, treating wounds, burns, and fractures, it's essential for handling injuries. Yeah. So this is something that we need to know and we need to refresh ourselves. I've done first aid courses before, but trust me, you need to keep on, learning and learning for you to. Okay, guys, this is just the bridge of my nose. Okay. Okay. Just so we're clear, I'm not picking my nose. Yeah. So I feel like it's very, very important for us to have first aid skills and to continue just reminding ourselves and refreshing and learning more and more. All right. Also, knowing how to administer CPR can be life saving. Yeah, you never know what you can encounter. It could be at home, someone could be choking. And if you have these skills, you can help, just save the person. So first aid skills very very important. Okay. So after this, let's go and refresh our first aid skills. Okay. That's a challenge to all of us. Okay. For aging, before today, I didn't know what this word means for aging. So I'll be honest with you, I had to Google it to find out what it means. Okay. So, for aging is going from place to place to search for things that you can eat or use. Yeah. So it could be applicable maybe if you're in the wild and you go around searching for food. Okay. I'm really trying my best, but I'm falling asleep, getting late on my side. Lovely joining your live once again. We'll see your wedding video when I get a chance. Good night. Good night, Caleb. And thank you so much for spending time with me on here. Thank you. Good night. Yeah. So, knowing which plants are safe to eat, to be honest, this is something that I really am interested in. So, I don't know. I just need to find people who know how to identify what is safe to eat and what is not, so they can probably teach me. And I think this is a really, really good skill to have, especially when you're out somewhere in the world and you're trying to decide what to eat and what not to eat. Yeah. So especially when it comes to things like mushrooms. There are edible mushrooms and there are mushrooms that could unalive you. So it's very important to have this skill and to know what we can eat, what we cannot eat. And having this skill can also help us because, what if you're stuck somewhere in the wild for days on end and you need to figure out what to eat and what not to eat? So this is a very, very good skill to have. Or probably maybe you could have gone camping and you need to get something to eat. It could be any situation. So for aging is an essential skill to have. Okay. Okay, so we have two more to go. Uh, Signaling for help. Knowing how to signal for rescue with a fire, mirror, whistle can increase your chances of being found. Why is this essential? Say, for example, you've gone out to the beach, you're swimming, and then the waves just carry you, and you're lost somewhere in the ocean, and you're trying to hold on to dear life and to stay, alive until you can be found. Or maybe you're in a boat and then something happens and you're stuck out there. You could be stranded anywhere. Like there's so many different scenarios, things that can happen. So just knowing how to signal so that you can be found and to signal in the right way, it's an essential and an important skill to have. Okay. Yeah. So very, very important things that we need to learn in life. And last but not least, I know there are many more, but I was able to narrow down on the 10 that I felt are very, very important for survival, for our day to day lives. Okay. So, mental toughness, this is about your mental resilience, your mental strength. Yeah, we could talk about all these things all day long, but are you really mentally prepared? Yeah. Yeah, so we need to make sure that we take care of ourselves mentally so that when we are faced with such situations, we are able to counter them as best as we can, and that we are in the right mental space to be able to cope and to survive. Okay. So maintaining a positive attitude, very important. A positive attitude will go a long way. Trust and believe, a long, long way. So maintaining a positive attitude, staying calm under pressure. This is not easy to do, believe you me. But it is a skill that when you learn, you'll be so, so grateful and so happy because it will help you deal with a lot of situations. It will help you navigate a lot of things that you'd otherwise not be able to. So, just having the right state of mental health, being resilient mentally will go a long, long way to help you in life. Okay. Yeah. So, and just being calm under pressure is also really helps when it comes to problem solving, when it comes to decision making. You need to be calm so that you can really think through things and not just do things hastily or rush without really thinking through things. So, yeah, very, very important. Yes. So, that is it for essential skills. I hope you learned a thing or two about essential skills. I sure did learn a lot. Yeah. And we are not perfect people. We keep on learning, and every day is an opportunity to learn something new. So now that we know the essential skills that we need to have, I'm sure probably there are many more out there. I could have probably missed one or two, but I think I really tried to narrow down on the things that we really need. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions for me or any thoughts about what we've talked about, please let me know. If not, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me and for listening to what I have to say and for contributing through your charts. Yeah, I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. I would not do this without you guys. So, you guys are very important to me and to this channel. All right. So, I don't think there are any questions. All right. Okay. So, all good. I hope to see you guys next time. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and I will see you next time on this channel. Thank you so much. And like I always say, please, please be a kind human. It does not cost a thing, and the world needs more kind people. Thank you. And until next time, goodbye. All right. Okay, you'll see me working on to like end the live. I'm still trying to figure this part out. So just bear with me.